Okay, let's now go for count ifs. And the difference between count ifs and count if only is that here you can get more than one criteria, more than one range, meaning you get a more complicated question as you can see here. For example, it says in G3, where is G3? This is G3. Count the number of students who scored A in ICT. That means here we have two criteria. We need to look for ICT in column A, and we need to match it with column B, which is A. So if it's ICT and A, we count it. If it's ICT and B, we don't count it. If it's ICT and C, we don't count it. So we'll only count whenever the subject is ICT and the grade is A at the same time. So for this kind of a function, what we need, a countifs. So the first thing they ask you for your first criteria. Where is the range for the first criteria? Let's say the first criteria is I'm looking for the subject ICT. Now, where is the range for this criteria? Subject ICT is mentioned in column A. So this is my range. Remember, range means more than one cell. So whenever they ask you for a range, you should always know that you are selecting more than one cell. Am I replicating for the rest of the subject? Yes, that means I'm going to lock it. Comma. What's your criteria? ICT. Do I have it here next to me somewhere? Yes, I have it here in F3. Do I need to lock it? No, because later I need it automatically to change into the other subject. So I need to go down like this, comma. Criteria range 2. What's my second criteria? You should get an A. Okay, so where is the range where A, B, C are mentioned? This is the range. So I'll just select column B. Am I replicating? Yes. Do I need to lock? Yes. So I'll lock it, comma. What's the criteria? A. Do I have it here somewhere? Yes, I have it here in this cell. However, if you look, A here is not with me in the same row. It's not on row 3. And whenever you are replicating any cell or range of cells you are selecting not with you in the same row, you need to lock it. That's why I need to lock this G2. So I'll lock it, close the bracket, hit enter, and I can safely replicate. Okay, to test it, I will just change this ICT from A to B, and the number here should change from 6 to 5, as you can see. That means it's working fine. And now we can repeat it here. Countifs. Criteria 1 range. Criteria 1 is always the subject. This is the range for the subject. And I am replicating, so I'm going to lock, comma. What's my criteria? ICT. I'm not locking because I need it to change whenever I replicate down there. Criteria range 2, this time I'm looking for B, where B is mentioned in this column. So this is my range. And I need to lock this range to prevent it from moving, comma. And what's my criteria? Criteria is this cell, which is S2, not with me in the same row, lock, without thinking. Close it, and then replicate. And I can do the same thing for C. Same goes for sumif. If, for example, the question says, in G3, calculate the total price, however, for only the students who got A in ICT. That means I need here to be written ICT and here A, and then I will add this number. If it's ICT and B, I will not add this number. Very good. So I have two criteria and two conditions. So let's say equal sum ifs. And notice whenever you start with sum if, you start with the sum range. What are you adding together? I'm adding these numbers. So this will be my sum range. Okay, I will not start with the criteria or the range. I will start with the sum range. And I need to lock it because I'm replicating for the rest of the subject. So I need this range to be fixed. Comma, criteria 1 range. Criteria 1 is ICT. Where is ICT is mentioned? This is the range where the subjects are mentioned. Am I replicating? Yes, lock automatically. Comma, what's the criteria? ICT. Do I have it next to me? Yes. In the same row? Yes. Are we going to lock it? No, because I'm going to replicate and I need it to change. So F3 is never locked. I need it to become F4, F5, F6, F7, F8 later. So I'll just leave it without locking. Criteria range 2, what I'm looking for, getting A at the same time. Where is the range where A, B, C are mentioned? Here. So this is my range. And I'm going to lock it as well because I'm replicating. Comma, where is the criteria itself? It's a B. Is it with me in the same row? No. Do I need it to change? No. That means you lock it. and you can just close the bracket, hit OK, and then replicate. And you can do the same thing for B. Let's do it quickly. Sumifs. Where is the sum range? I'm adding these numbers. Am I replicating? Yes. Lock, comma, criteria 1. I'm looking for ICT. Where is the range where ICT is mentioned? This is the range. Lock, because I'm replicating, comma, where is my criteria? ICT. Am I locking it? No, I need it to change, so I leave it alone. Comma, criteria range 2, what I'm looking for, this time looking for B. Where is B is mentioned? Here, this is the range, more than one cell. Select it. Am I replicating? Yes, always lock the range whenever you're replicating. Comma, criteria 2, now I'm looking for B. I click it, it's not with me in the same row, and I need it to be fixed whenever I'm replicating, not going down with me. So I will lock it and close the bracket and safely replicate. Okay, so as you can see here, the difference between this one and sum if only is sum if you get one criteria, one range. Here you get two criteria, two range, and a sum range. Same goes for average if. This time, instead of having a sum if, I'm going to find the average of the students who's getting A in ICT. If you look for the question here, okay? How to do it? Average if. Let's do it quickly. Average if. What are you averaging? These numbers are selected. Am I replicating? Yes. Lock, comma. Criteria 1, I'm looking for ICT. Where is ICT range? This is ICT range. Lock, yes. Comma, what's the criteria? ICT, which is F3 here. Are we going to look? No, I need it to change whenever I replicate for the rest of the subject. Leave it alone. Comma, criteria 2, I'm looking for the students who got A in ICT. I'm taking the average of these students. Where is A mentioned many times? Here. Am I replicating? Yes. Lock. Comma, what's the criteria itself? A, which is in G2. Is it with me in the same row? No. Do you need it fixed? Yes. So lock. And then what you do? You replicate. And you get the numbers. Okay, so this is the whole idea.